We now know the identities of the 3 people killed in a weekend crash in Tallahassee. 2 of those victims were in elementary school. Good evening. I'm Angelica Alvarez. 3 others are still being treated for their injuries tonight. The accident happened Saturday night around 10 at the intersection of Tennessee and Monroe. The 2 boys who died are Vincent Vickers and Tyler Biggins. The 2 friends were 4th graders at Rudiger Elementary. Vincent's mother, Shakayla Vickers, also died in the crash. Vincent's father remains in fair condition. Police say the driver of the SUV that ran a red light and hit the family's vehicle is Christoph Generoso. He suffered minor injuries.
Investigators this time are ruling nothing out. They're taking into account everything they're trying to find. They're not saying they're not making statements as to what they think it is, what they think it wasn't. Only that there was a traffic crash. The initial investigation did show that there was a rear end. One car rear-ended another car.
In all, 8 people were involved in the crash. For more on all of the victims, click on the story on WCTV.tv. The accident is still under investigation. An FSU student is accused of attempted murder. Arrest papers show 19-year-old Reginald Luster used an 8-inch kitchen knife to try to kill his girlfriend. She told police he was angry because she was still friends with her ex-boyfriend. This happened Thursday at Reagan's Hall. FSU police say Luster stabbed 19-year-old Gabriella Stroud multiple times in the torso, head, the back, and her hands. He then stabbed himself in the torso and chest. He even almost severed his own fingers. Luster was released from the hospital this afternoon. He faces a judge tomorrow morning. An inmate stabs a corrections officer in the neck, killing him. This happened Sunday night at a state prison just outside Lake City. 24-year-old Sergeant Reuben Thomas was checking on an inmate when Richard Franklin Sr. stabbed him with a handmade weapon. Franklin was serving a life sentence for a 2004 murder. Sergeant Thomas leaves behind a young daughter and a fiance. Franklin has been sent to a maximum security prison. A 17-year-old is gunned down while walking home from a convenience store. Now, almost 1 month later, his shooter has still not been arrested. Today, FAMU and FSU students rallied on campus in support of Trayvon Martin.
He is dead. It could have been any one of us.
Martin was killed on February 26. He was shot by George Zimmerman, a neighborhood watch leader in Central Florida. Martin was not armed, and in the 911 tapes just released, Zimmerman was told not to even approach Martin, but he did, and he says he shot him in self-defense.
We can't allow this to happen. We can't stay quiet as this happened, and we have to fight back, and we have to demand that justice is served.
The group is also planning a sit-in at the governor's office tomorrow afternoon. A Mississippi truck driver will be sentenced in Perry tomorrow for a murder that happened almost 20 years ago. Kenneth Knight pleaded guilty in the murder of 22-year-old Sandra Espinoza. Taylor County Sheriff's deputies say Knight was a truck driver from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. They say new forensic evidence proves he dumped Espinoza's body in a rest stop area off of Highway 90. He faces up to 23 years in prison. In Thomasville off 319 North, a Papa John's pizza delivery man was attacked while trying to make a delivery. This happened over the weekend at the Best for Guest mobile homes. Thomas County Sheriff's deputies say when the delivery guy pulled up to what appeared to be a vacant unit, he was told by a group of men that he had passed the correct address. That's when he says they jumped him.
He was struck once with a stick or an object that appeared to him to be some type of stick, and the other males began grabbing the pizzas and the other stuff from the front of the car, which he valued at around $50.
The victim did try chasing his attackers with his car. A reward is now being offered for anyone with information that leads to an arrest. Florida's weather isn't the only reason it's dubbed the Sunshine State. It's also the home to the Sunshine Law, making the inner workings of state and local government more accessible in Florida than anywhere else in the country. But as Troy Kinsey tells us, lobbyists are finding loopholes in the laws.